Okay, hello. Return to nature. I've been saying that for a long time. Um, and very often here on this live streaming channel, things can get negative. And that's because there are lots of negative things in society. And I want to talk about it to get it off my chest. For instance, on my main channel, people stealing my videos, and then I get hit with a copyright strike. I've talked about that before. I'm. It looks like I'm getting some legal assistance on that now. I'm not going down without a fight. But anyway, I was out in the woods. Nothing new there. Out in the woods on Sunday. Now it's Tuesday morning here. And by the way, if I have to suddenly stop this live stream, it will be because the electrician will be here could be now, could be in 1 hour. He's coming to change a faulty lamp outside of my office. So then I have to say goodbye for now to you guys. But yeah, I was out in the woods, and I was actually making a video. It's second nature now to make videos out in the woods. I do go out in the woods without making videos, by the way. But I was making a campfire, a very small campfire, and as I was sitting there, I was just thinking, those problems, they seem tiny. Many of these problems, they seem tiny when you're out there. And the little things, the little joys in life, the good things, seem very big when you're out in the woods. And I said that in that video. It's on Bjorn Outdoors, the custom number 10 giveaway. And it's true. And I'm not the only one saying that, of course. But still, we need to be reminded about that, because life can get busy and stressful, and we lose perspectives. So, um, I find that I'm never sad when I'm by a campfire. And actually, there's been some research done on that, and it's not like pop research; it's proper research. So, did you know that the light from the campfire is healthy to us? It's the infrared radiation from the campfire. You don't get that from a light bulb, as far as I know. And with the new, what do they call these new light bulbs? I hate them. What's it called? The new modern light bulbs. They are kind of toxic to us. The light is unhealthy. LED, yeah, that light is actually unhealthy. It stresses us. We get stressed by that light. But a campfire, I guess you would get the same if you have a kerosene lamp. It's healthy to us. And yeah, so maybe it's that simple, Maybe it's that simple. Hold on. Tyrdom from Sweden. Hello to you. And Carola. good morning. Kat, Stephen, Jeffrey, and KP Heathen is here. Yeah, wonderful. So I get it. It's like, don't expect many views if you go on YouTube and your message is connect with nature. It seems like everything is about the views now is about rage bait, people getting angry. That tells us a lot about where we are as a society, I think. Yeah, Jeffrey, LEDs are actually harmful. They're not going to like kill you, but it's not a healthy kind of light. Yeah. So what does it say about us that social media thrives on rage bait and conflict, and if you want to get the views, do something that upsets people, be very opinionated. But I'm opinionated too, but I refuse to just be part of one of the tribes, if you will, one of the internet tribes. There's a bullet point list of things that you have to believe in, right? But no, I won't do that. And then no, what I'm trying to say is go out in nature. So that's my message, basically. And I did look at some numbers, and especially young people are spending less time out in nature now than they did previously, than young people did previously. That is not good. And at the same time, screen time is going up. Now, I'm not against looking at the screen. I'm looking at the screen now. And some of you are probably looking at the screen as well. And some are just listening. I think that's fine. But there needs to be a balance there. Or should I say an imbalance. We should spend more time outside than inside. But now it's the opposite for most people. And it's because of work. How many people work outside? I don't. I'm a novelist, so I sit in the house writing, I think that if you care about your health, especially your mental health, spending your spare time outside, preferably in nature, is wise. That's because that's where we are meant to be. It's like, I often say it's almost like we're meant to be out there, because okay, you have the light from the campfire is healthy. It's the same type of light that the sun shines upon us. And then you have, of course, there are some of that radiation that can be harmful. Is that the ultraviolet? Is it? But the infrared radiation from the sun is healthy, and it actually penetrates your clothes. You don't have to run around naked anymore. So it's again, it's almost like we're meant to be outside under the sun. And also that same light bounces off green leaves, actually. So you get an extra dose of that healthy infrared radiation when you're among trees. Yeah. Uh, yeah, sister. Hello. How goes it? Well, not too bad. Um, Tyrdom says the Finnish part of me has no problem with sitting naked by the fire. My neighbors, though, do they object to that? It's their loss, we should say. Yeah, you crazy Swedes and Finns. It's like with nudity. In if you didn't know, in Norway, it's not okay. In Sweden, it's more okay. And then we move further east in Finland. It's like they're always naked, aren't they? Yeah, and there's saunas. Um, yeah, I added to my videos not allowing AI and usage of my videos. Yeah, I did that. I actually forgot in the troll video. I forgot, but yeah. Also on the thumbnails, I put no AI, but I could not actually do that on the thumbnail of the troll video because I used the press released. It's not theft, by the way. If you use a movie poster, when a production company, when they have a new movie, they send out these, 2, 3, 4, 5 images for the press. So obviously the one with the two trolls there, that's one of those. So that's the one I used in the thumbnail, but I could not put the no AI on the thumbnail because I don't know if they have used AI to create that image of the two trolls. I have no idea. That's why I did not put it there. So, let's see here. Yeah. So, I mean, just go out in nature and spend time in nature. One thing I would say is that some people expect to be, to be cured for whatever stress related disease or illness they have when they go out in nature and they sit down and listen to the trees. I actually don't think that's wise. I think that when you go out in nature, have something to do. Keep yourself busy. I'm not actually so fond of just sitting there. Well, I sit by the campfire in the evenings, but I don't go out in the woods to sit there and do nothing. I don't do that. Some people talk about mindfulness and you should sit down, and no, I don't like that. I like to be busy. Um, but we're all different, I guess. We're all special. Kalsari Kennit. Kalsari Kennit. Finnish word for describing sitting at home, drinking alcohol without any intention of leaving the home. Mike is asking, what's your opinion on camping tents that come with built-in cots so that you don't have to sleep on the ground? That sounds great. Yeah, I would love to have that. But also it sounds very heavy. So that would be, like car camping, I guess. But that's fine too. I I like lightweight gear, and I have several lightweight backpacks and tents and all of that. Yeah, in your underwear, sitting at home drinking in your underwear. Okay. Yeah, so I have several backpacks, tents, and all sorts of stuff that are very, well, you could say ultra lightweight. But yesterday I was sent one of the good things of being on YouTube. I was sent a backpack for free, which makes me very happy. And you're going to see it in some of my videos. Um, but that backpack is not lightweight. It's not. It's like a bushcraft style backpack, I would say, with 100 pockets. So the complete opposite of my ultralight backpacks. But and that's fine too. Do what fits you. And if you want to be a through hiker and hike for half a year, that's fine. And if you just want to go out for a day hike, sit down and whittle with your knife, that's fine too. Yeah. But yeah, by the way, do you have any questions? No? I just wanted to come on here and talk about something that is positive. That being said, when there is something that is negative and unfair, you shouldn't hold back. I don't think so. You should not hold back. You should say it as it is. And my main channel being threatened with being deleted entirely from YouTube because my videos are being stolen. And then the AI on YouTube thinks that my videos are the stolen ones. That would make any sensible human being furious. Do you ever go into non-forested landscapes? What would that be? Like the mountains above the tree line? I've been in the mountains, but I like it best not in the mountains, but in among the trees. I like the forest. What I think about the scouts nowadays, I don't know anything about the scouts nowadays. I was a Boy Scout, and that was okay. Green-eyed lady, have you been able to quit drinking coffee? I don't drink anything that contains caffeine. No coffee, no tea, no energy drinks, no Coca-Cola, no chocolate. Chocolate actually contains some caffeine. And I don't miss it. This is not coffee, by the way. This is non-alcoholic Christmas toddy. The Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. When it comes to this, is it a gender thing again? I don't. When it comes to the gender conflict or whatever they call it, I can't get myself to be very much emotionally invested in it. I'm just not interested. The woke thing and all that is that this, because I heard something about the Boy Scouts should accept girls or something like that. I why couldn't they not be just scouts? Like, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Um, I remember that we had Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts when I was like a boy, and when we went out in the woods, there was always this talk about what maybe we come across some Girl Scouts, and every little sound in the woods was like all the boys like, oh, maybe there are girls out here. It's probably the least likely place to meet girls. If you go out in the woods, it at least they're in Scandinavia, there won't be girls there. It's like, but to us that was very exciting, and we never met any girls, by the way. So, um, let's see. If I'm going back to Rondane, I don't know. I don't know. Right? I might. Carola, yeah. Why are they not together? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Why, if you're like 8 years old and in the Boy Scouts, why can't Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts be together? As you say, they are just kids. So, I will say that um, this whole gender thing with the woke and the gender thing and all that seems to be a much bigger issue in North America. Norway was never, the woke thing never really caught on here. And maybe that's because it is, as I would say, Scandinavia is a place where you have equality between men and women. And I've seen some of these idiotic American personalities on social media. They say Norway, Sweden, it's so woke there, and the men are effeminate, uh, effeminate. I can't pronounce that word, feminine or something like that. It is. It's like how to say that you've never been to Scandinavia without saying that you've never been to Scandinavia. These people over there in the USA saying that they do not understand the difference between woke and equality. So I find Scandinavian women are very feminine, much more so than in many other countries, I would say. If you want to know, I do think that women in Italy, Spain might be more feminine, but it's not so bad up here. It's good. It's good. It's a good place to be. And I think that people. Here's what I think. Okay, what I'm trying to say. I think that in the USA and Canada, the woke thing became this huge thing in the culture. And because of that, people got very upset on both sides and with a lot of conflict and all that. So when you have those spectacles on and you look towards Scandinavia and you've never been there, and you hear that the women have there's like complete equality. And then with those spectacles on, then you think, oh, they are so woke over there. But nothing could be further from the truth. So, um, yeah. Um, let's see. So Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. I think it would be healthy for kids to be in just the Scouts. Yeah, the Scouts. Why not? And then there's a case, I guess, for having these male spaces where men can come together and, you know, just without the women. But that comes later, I would guess. Yeah. Do you know when Norwegian women got the right to vote? No, I don't know. That's a long time ago. But I can look it up. Maybe someone else can look it up for me. So must-see places to visit in Norway. Well, the fjords in the west are quite spectacular. The mountains, Jotunheimen, for instance, if you can get there, that would be quite special. 1913. Okay. That was when Norwegian. Oh, Tydem says 1901. Is that Sweden or? It was 1920 in the US for federal elections. Yeah. Yeah. So about 100 years ago. Yeah. Okay. But I find it interesting when you look at when people in general, men, like all men, got the right to vote, because very often you find that that's much later than you would expect. You know, so yeah. Yeah, and I would say the Oslo fjord is, while it is polluted and dead, partly dead, it is easy to get out on one of the boats, and it is nice. It looks nice, you know. 1893 for New Zealand, we led the way. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I actually think that only rich fat men should have the right to vote. Landowners. Yeah, let's go back to that. You need to have 2 cars, a house, land, and a certain body weight to vote. I think we should go back to that. Yeah, good old days. um, so, yeah. Only people with a BMI over 28. Yeah, that would be quite something, right? Only men can vote. You have to qualify. You have to be a landowner, and when you go to vote, they have these scales there, and you have to step onto the scales, and you have to be fat or to vote, right? So, yeah, I'm joking, of course. You know, yeah. No, but it kind of used to be like that back in the very old days. Only a certain uh, segment of the population got to vote and send the kids out to die in the wars. Yeah. So, yeah. I do think that they should not, while when we are talking about this, so I would say that there is some talk about lowering the voting age to 16. I think that's unwise because you're not really able. Some are, but there are so many people at that age who are not able to vote because they can't. Well, they're able to vote, but they're not able to make a good decision. Are they talking about lowering the conscription age as well? In which country? Hmm. The legal driving age in Norway is 18. Um, like, the draft or the conscription, mandatory conscription, you might know this. I am very much against that. It goes against everything I believe in this because the state should not own you. And if you have mandatory military conscription, the state owns you. That's what it means. They can decide that you must go here, you must come here, and we send you out to war, and you might be killed. Um, so I'm very much against that. And sadly, I'm seeing a massive amount of propaganda here in Norway. They're basically just saying, "Oh, look at the evil Russians. We must fight for Norway. You must join the military." And I'm still at the age of 53. I have 2 more years as someone they can come and get me. Actually, whenever they want to, they can come and get me and put me in a uniform. Isn't that crazy? Um, I hate that because it is basically they are just saying that we own you, we own you. So yeah, um, I would agree with conscription if your local area is affected by conflict. Yeah, I disagree, but I get your point. But it won't be like that. Obviously not. You're being sent to somewhere else, of course. How are you faring with outdoors? How are you faring outdoors in winter, combining work days, the dark, etc. in Norway? It's difficult now because the days are so short. Um, but what can you do? You know, to add to that, it's been raining for 2 weeks or something like that, which makes the short days even darker. So it's basically been gloomy or complete darkness for more than 2 weeks now. Um, let's see here. In Germany, they are discussing a social year for elderly to get their pension. They own you. Yeah. No, I think it's good. We should whip the old people back into the workforce, have them slave away digging ditches. Greedy old bastards. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Have a wonderful day to them, and thank you for joining us here. Um, yeah, now it's like we pay taxes. That should be enough. It's more than enough. Um, Twinkle Blink says mandatory draft is kidnapping. Yes, it is. It is. And then here's how it goes. The argument goes like this: Are you against mandatory conscription? Oh, are you not interested in defending your country then? I will reply, no, I'm not. Actually, I don't care about my country if caring for my country means that myself and others might be killed. You might call me crazy, but that's my opinion. And then they say, oh, do you not understand that if you don't fight the enemy, now it's the Russians, uh, they will come to your house and do horrible things to everything you care for and everyone you care for. Right? That's what they're saying. Listen, I never said I'm what's it called? Someone who won't use violence to defend himself and others. I'm not a pacifist. I never said that. And if I'm in the military, I won't be here. And that's what these idiots don't get. If I'm in the military, I will not be here. I will be somewhere far away. Far away. Probably in another country. And if the Russians should invade, which I don't think they will, then I want to be here. And I want to be able to make the right decisions for myself and those I care about in time, not when it's too late. And it's like they are trying to sell this fantasy that Norway will be able to defend itself against Russia. No, we won't be able to do that. And no chance in hell. So it's like, if you care about your life and your health, well, you should get out before it's too late. That's what these people don't get. Are most Norwegians content living in a monarchy? Sadly, yes, but the discontent is growing. And we have a very old king, and I have nothing against the king. He seems like a nice man. But the son, he's, let's just put it this way, he's not going to be as popular as his father, which might tip the discontent above 50%. And you might also be aware that the kids, so those will be the children of the prince and the woman he married. I mean, there's a lot I know about that because I have police in my close family. But the only thing that is actually out in the public is that the son of the woman married to the prince, that the son she had from a previous relationship, he is like being investigated for numerous rapes and drug abuse and theft and violence. So it's like, come on, these are not good people. I think I can say that. But they are being portrayed as these perfect representatives for young people. But that image is going to crack. You can't keep lying forever. As an American, says Jeffrey, I dislike royalty. I agree. I dislike royalty too. It should be a thing of the past. And you did it was very wise that you got rid of the royalty over in the US. Is the royal family ethnically Norwegian? No, they're not. They're not. And a lot of people think that they are, because back when, yeah, it's a long story, but those rich, fat landowners that kind of took Norway out of just being a colony under first Denmark and then Sweden, they really, really wanted to have a system of nobles and a king in Norway. So they claimed that they found a descendant of who was it? One of the Viking kings, and the royal family might be a descendant there of the Viking kings. Well, so am I. I mean, it's not that uncommon. So now hold on, is it a Viking king? It's a Scottish king. I'm a descendant of a Scottish king. Was it no, maybe not the Viking king. I've got the whole family tree going back hundreds of years. But it's when you go back hundreds of years like that, it's very you can't really trust that. So I often say I'm a direct descendant of Egil Skallagrimson, who was an interesting fellow, a Viking skald bard, and warrior and madman. But you can't really know for sure, I descended from Ragnar Lothbrok. We don't know if he was a real person. So, but in the family tree, I'm a descendant from, what's his name? The king in the Beowulf story, the king who dies at the beginning. I'm supposedly a descendant of him. Yeah. But we are talking fairy tales then. So I wouldn't trust that at all. But now I heard actually a car door, so that's the electrician. I have to go, and he will fix the lamp outside my office. Okay. Wonderful to have a chat again, and we will talk again.